Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. Topless nightclubs, payoffs to county commissioners, allegedly. Yeah, we're going to go to Las Vegas. Andy's got the rundown.
Sam, the effects of those federal indictments just keep going on and on. Yesterday, Mary Kincaid Chauncey, chairwoman of the Clark County Commission, resigned. We'll talk to John L. Smith with the Las Vegas Review-Journal and get the latest. And then on Monday, we talked to Richard Perkins. He didn't know how much money he had in his campaign account. Today, we'll talk to Secretary of State Dean Heller and find out why he needs the power to audit. Sam?
What a show. And coming up on the pundit panel, Daryl Capurro, Mary Lau, and Diedre Pike. It's all coming up next on the all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
The Abowed family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Catch a straight, dine at 8. Lucky you. Lucky you. Dance till 1. Have some fun. Lucky you. Lucky you. Taste the shrimp. Have a sip. Try the pool. Play it cool. At the Sienna Hotel Spa Casino. Lucky you.
The biggest risk your company can take.
Well, Barbara, you did very well on your interview.
Hiring employees can help your business get to the next level.
And your resume looks outstanding.
And it can also expose you to corporate crimes and costly lawsuits that can bring your company to its knees.
So, we'd like to offer you a position.
Before you hire another employee, hire the professionals at Employer Links. Call today to get our free CD-ROM, The Top 8 Risk of Hiring Employees.
If you own a business and want to maximize your company's potential, join the Retail Association of Nevada. Our membership benefits include the Nevada Retail Network Self-Insured Group, providing workers' compensation coverage that can lower your rates. That savings can go directly to your bottom line. We are an effective pro-business organization that lobbies on behalf of our business members. The Retail Association of Nevada, protecting Nevada businesses for 35 years. Call 882-1700 to see what we can do for your organization.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad, political analyst Ande Engleman on No Holds Barred Political Forum. Now, from the News 4 Broadcast Center, here's Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, boy, do we have a hot show for you today. Mary Kincaid Chauncey resigned from her post as chairwoman of the Clark County Commission. She faces charges of wire fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, and extortion. She also plans to run for re-election in 2004. John L. Smith with the Las Vegas Review-Journal is on the line. Morning, John.
Good morning.
What do you make of this?
Well, Mary Kincaid Chauncey is certainly putting her best face forward. Unfortunately, the face is now part of an indictment, as you've outlined. The fact is that she's got some real problems ahead of her that have nothing to do with that county commission post. She stepped down as chairwoman of the county commission yesterday after telling folks over and over she had no intention of stepping down after her attorney, Richard Wright, insisted that she had no reason to step down. But the fact is there's been political pressure applied to her, and I think she's starting to feel the heat. It's certainly starting to show, and some of us out there in the media have been less than convinced by her grandmother routine.
And John, I heard that Sig Rogich actually counseled her and advised her to resign.
I think that's a real possibility. Certainly she's been reaching out to a lot of different old friends out there to see what they're thinking. But the fact is, all you have to do is follow the headlines to see that her stock has fallen a great deal in recent months. This is a person who, up until this scandal, had a reputation of being very straight, to the degree of staying away from some of the influences that have tended to trip up county commissioners in the past. And unfortunately, for her at least, the technology of the wiretap is such that it's pretty unforgiving. And she's on wire talking about accepting cash payments. Of course, her attorney will couch that as a campaign contribution. Unfortunately, she's already admitted. Unfortunately for her, she's already admitted that $4,000 was sent to a relative's bank account.
Okay, well, what would you recommend? I mean, she's still on the county commission, though. I mean, she has not stepped down from the county commission, just stepped down from the chairmanship. What do you think? Should she resign or just go with innocent until proven guilty?
Well, I mean, I think that she has said she did nothing wrong. She has said that she accepted money with the clear indication of sending it on to a relative's more or less charitable fund. I mean, it was for a Olympic skiing training fund. But yeah, I mean, what do I think? Obviously she should stand and fight if that's what she believes. The problem with that, of course, is that we're not talking about. Remember, in recent weeks, we have talked on the phone and via satellite about what was emerging. Some of it was smoke, some of it was speculation. A lot of it has turned out to be factual. Within the four corners of that indictment, she's got a lot of problems, and so it would probably be perhaps better for her health if she stepped down. But it's not going to make a bit of difference. In the long run, she's going to have to fight that indictment in court.
John, where do you think we're going to go from here? Do you think these indictments will extend to any other public body?
I believe when it was said, when the indictment was announced, there was talk of the investigation continuing. And I think it's continuing, and I think a couple of the names that are involved in that continuing investigation are names that have been in the newspaper. Those are current City Councilman Michael Mack and former City Councilman Michael McDonald. I think that clearly the federal investigators are looking at them still for issues related to the Ghilardi story. The Ghilardi story, as we know, includes cash payments through Lance Malone to different politicians around town. Some of those politicians declared that money, some of them did not. People in the indictment, in the recent indictment, did not declare those cash transactions from Lance Malone.
There were some comments earlier on that this might stretch toward developers as well, that this wasn't over yet. Are you hearing that?
Oh, absolutely. Although that talk, which was pretty heated just a few weeks ago, has died down quite a bit. I don't know whether that's because the investigation's gotten a little further underground and it's harder for reporters to find out, or whether some of those leads that they were hoping to get from some of these people who've turned state's evidence, especially Aaron Kenney, the former county commissioner, whether some of those leads haven't panned out. It's hard to say right now, but clearly that's still part of the federal investigators' game plan. FBI has been interviewing some developers. Some of those developers have hired lawyers, and they're not talking much. And a couple of attorneys in town who handle zoning matters and development cases, they have also been interviewed by the FBI.
John, we're almost out of time, but what's Oscar Goodman's connection to this?
It's interesting, kind of curious by its absence, given his level of notoriety. Oscar Goodman has no connection as mayor to this, at least none has surfaced, but Eric Goodman represents Daryl Herrera. Eric Goodman is a fine young lawyer who has absolutely no experience in federal criminal matters. Of course, his dad does. So it'll be interesting to see if there isn't some advice being given over a dinner or a cocktail from the mayor to the son.
Okay, we've got about 20 seconds left here, John. Councilwoman Sherry Buck, who's on the North Las Vegas City Council, says that she's thinking of raising $1 million for the 2004 election for Kincaid's seat. Isn't that the problem, that it costs so much money to get elected?
Oh, absolutely, but you know why it does, Sam? It's not the cost of advertising that makes that so expensive. The fact is that it's the cost of political advice. Their top advisors in town, they want those politicians out there whoring themselves collecting dollars because they make more money that way. fact is, Mary Kincaid didn't need to raise $750,000 or $800,000 or more in order to get elected. They weren't doing sweeping television advertising. Their billboards cost money, but those billboards are controlled by a very small group of people. And the political advice is where the money is in this town. And well, of course, if you believe the wiretaps, the money's also in being in the county commission.
John Smith, author of, your book quickly?
Yes, Of Rats and Men. It's Oscar Goodman's life from mob lawyer to mayor of Las Vegas.
And I just bought 5 copies for Christmas gifts.
What a great idea. John, thank you so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much.
All right, buddy. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers with Dean Heller after this.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world-famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Would you like to savor a Trento pork chop? Or maybe pasta rags with grilled chicken? Hugo's Tuscan Grill at Diedre is a celebration of color, flavor, and freshness. Each dish is created from natural, wholesome foods that is delicious and nutritious. Hugo's is a comfortable restaurant with breathtaking city views. If you enjoy great food and good company, visit us here at Hugo's. It's the best that dining can be. 2900 South Diedre Parkway in Sparks.
Welcome to Sushi Club, best sushi in town. The Sushi Club in Independence Square uses the best quality products. The sushi is dynamite, and the service is just wonderful.
The Sushi Club is bigger and better. We have 11 sushi chefs on staff, and the service is great.
All your friends will tell you that Sushi Club is the best place for the best sushi.
Come join us for lunch or dinner.
The Sushi Club, 294 East Moana Lane in the Independence Square.
Now that's great sushi.
To experience the royal cuisine of India, you need some serious magic or simply transport yourself to India Garden, right here in Reno, where you'll discover Indian specialties refined over centuries. Sikh kebab, tandoori dishes cooked in our own tandoor oven, biryani specialties, curries, fresh-baked Indian bread, over a dozen vegetarian dishes, even dishes rare to India like dosa, South Indian-style crepes. India Garden off South Virginia near Sports West. We are India.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
We have great timing on this show to follow up our John Smith interview. We have Secretary of State Dean Heller here with us. What was John referring to about needing all this money for people to run campaigns rather than spending the money on the campaigns?
Well, first of all, the key is, and I think what John was trying to say, is that special interest groups do truly want people asking for their money. It's a lot easier when they have asked you for a favor or for a campaign contribution. Later, when you do get on that particular panel, that commission, that city council, to be able to go back to them and say, hey, by the way, I have this issue in front of you, and we need to sit down and talk about it.
And isn't that what campaign consultants do, though? Many times they say, I'll help run your campaign. You pay me thousands and thousands of dollars. Right. I'll help you raise the funds to pay me. Right. Then they call all their friends who run special interest groups and set up appointments, right?
Well, rarely will you see a lobbyist in the legislature that hasn't, in fact, contributed to particular campaigns unless they're lobbyists for a nonprofit organization. Most of the lobbyists that you'll see in the legislature and in city councils and county commission meetings are, in fact, those that also raise money for those particular campaigns.
All right, we had, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Speaker Richard Perkins was on the show on Monday, and we asked him how much money he had in his campaign war chest, and he didn't know. Yeah. He said he wouldn't know until he filed in January.
Right.
Now, some of these bribes were, in fact, campaign contributions that the feds are
not
looking
to Speaker
at.
Perkins.
No, not to Speaker Perkins.
Let's make that very clear.
Yeah, make that very clear. No, not to Speaker Perkins. But the Las Vegas indictments concerned money that was given to campaigns.
Right.
Dean, how do we tell the difference between a campaign contribution and a bribe? And are you able to go in and double check what these people are reporting?
First of all, that's a very important question you do ask, and you've asked me that question before. How do you determine the difference? And one is, it's a bribe if you promise something in exchange. So if you have someone that's saying, here, I'll contribute to your campaign, and you promise something in exchange to that, then I would consider that a bribe. If it's a campaign contribution for access to you when you're serving, then I do not consider that a bribe. But unfortunately, too often it happens in the sense, and of course the public is getting the sense that it's happening more and more as you see what's going on down at the county commission, that they're bribes more than just access to these particular candidates.
Are you able to go in and look at people's campaign disclosure reports to see if they're telling the truth?
Andy, unfortunately, I have gone to the legislature over the last legislative sessions asking for the authority to audit these campaign contribution expenditure reports, and I have not been given that authority. In Perkins' hearing here, when you had him on earlier, he said he had money that he didn't know how much that was in there. I know there's leadership out there with hundreds of thousands of dollars in campaign accounts, and frankly, I don't think it'll ever get disclosed. I even think with what the commission did, the legislative commission did on these new reporting forms, we will never catch the dollars that are out there. And unfortunately, the purpose for auditing them would be to make sure, one, they're following the law, that there isn't, that they're following campaign contribution limits, and there isn't bundling involved. But more important,
what do you mean bundling?
Well, when you have an individual giving, say the maximum is $10,000 you can give to a candidate, so he gives $10,000 to 10 of his coworkers and says, I want you all to contribute to this particular candidate. That's illegal, and you'd be able to find that out through the auditing process. But more importantly, especially in light of what's going down in Las Vegas right now with that county commission and the potential for more on the city council, is that we got to make sure that these contributions aren't in the category of being a bribe.
All right, to change the subject slightly. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. We're looking at election machines statewide, touch machines.
That's correct.
And it's between Diebold, which is evidently used up here, and it starts with S. Sequoia down south.
Correct.
When will you be making a decision?
Well, we're hoping within the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to be able to make some kind of an announcement. We're still doing the research and we're looking at both machines, both for their security, for the integrity of the machines, and also obviously for the accuracy of the machines.
Who's paying for these machines?
For these machines, it goes through the Help America Vote Act. It's federal funds that are coming into the state. Nevada should get about $15 million. It would cost $6 to $8 million to put these electronic machines statewide. But Diebold and Sequoia are currently in the state and have been used in the past. Keep in mind that 70% of the state right now does vote on these electronic machines. Either we are going to expand Sequoia or take a look at Diebold if, in fact, they're the machine of choice, and expand those across the state. So
will it cost the counties anything?
It will not. We anticipate the expansion would cost somewhere to $6 to $8 million, but we would, the federal government to the Secretary of State would then pay for those machines.
So why is all the complaining?
Very brief answer, please.
I don't know if there is a brief answer to that particular question.
In that case, we're out of time. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Take it to the pundit panel.
Before you head to Carson, take care of yourself with a visit to Tamarack Junction. Catch a hot cup of coffee and the morning news on one of our 32 TVs and enjoy the best food in South Reno. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
The Abowd family has an appetite for dialogue. Agree or disagree, have the conversation. All opinions are welcome. Since 1977, Adele's.
Your home is an expression of all things comforting and familiar. For custom storage, you can count on California Closets to provide quality, value, and design integrity. The process is easy, combining your personal style with our organizing expertise. We care about what matters most to you, making your home functional and beautiful. California Closets, simplifying home and life since 1978. Call today for your complimentary design consultation.
When you sign up for Wells Fargo free checking, you get more than free checking. You get the freedom to bank when and where you want. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
Make your daily commute easy with breakfast or lunch at the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy daily specials, super fast service, and South Reno's freshest morning meals. Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad and Ande Engleman.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we've got a great pundit panel as always today. Diedre Pike, who's the news editor for the Reno News and Review, Daryl Capurro, who's executive director of the Nevada Motor Transport Association, and Mary Lau, who's executive director of the Retail Association of Nevada, and one of our proud sponsors, and we thank you for that as always. We always disclose on this program. Probably the most phone calls I've gotten over the last couple of months have been from people who are angry with Ande because of her position about public employees and double dipping, and Diedre, you have somewhat of a different opinion. You had a column recently in the paper called "Just Stupid Enough to Succeed" about the initiative petition. What are your thoughts on this?
I think that we have more important things as a state to worry about than teachers or other public employees serving in the legislature, being public servants, duly elected public servants. I think we could worry about such things as elected officials who are double dipping from the nightclub industry, perhaps.
I think Diedre I think bribes are worse than public employees double dipping. But I have a problem. I said to Speaker Perkins on Monday, would he not put public employees on the Government Affairs Committee, which oversees all public entities, and instead put them on Commerce and take the business people off Commerce and put them on Government Affairs. And that way you wouldn't have conflicts with the business and you wouldn't have conflicts with public employees. And he would not agree to that.
Well, it's an interesting situation. I think if a person is elected to office, the public's given them a certain amount of trust, and the public knows that person is employed by a county or city or in a teaching position for the university, for example.
Well, I'm sorry, Diedre, but I think the public wants more than just naked trust. I mean, guys, what about audits? I mean, I think we need checks and balances sometimes.
I agree, Ande. There's no question that the public trust has been damaged tremendously by what has happened over the last couple of weeks and the disclosures made both with respect to double dipping and the Clark County Commission situation and others that apparently will develop. And so there is a trust problem as far as all politicians are concerned. I think it's going to show up at the next elections too.
Public trust is almost an oxymoron at this point in time. For years people have made criticism and comments and stuff about legislators and everything, and now all of a sudden it's like our worst fears are coming true. It's divulging of too many years of petty tyrants, too many years of abuse, and too many years of laissez-faire. And unfortunately...
And too many years of trust me, trust me.
Trust me, but I agree. Like, if a teacher's going to serve, they have parameters. Some of the teachers end up losing their time, they lose their retirement and stuff like that.
Bernie Anderson handled it beautifully.
Full disclosure of anything. I agree with Secretary of State Heller. Full disclosure, full audit, who cares? All it is communications. If people know, people understand.
And I want to say that the column that Diedre did on this in the Reno News and Review, I found fascinating, and I went and looked at this Carl Needhammer, who it turns out is a Justice of the Peace pro tem in Carson City, but he started this group in Carson City called the Burke Consortium, which is against what, Diedre?
Against government. They just don't like the government. They're against public schools. From what I understand, they're come out fairly strong against government services. Some of us like having a fire department to come put out our little blazes. It's not all evil. And to say on the audit, I'm for full disclosure. I want to know who's giving money to the people I'm voting for.
Do you see anything wrong with an audit, with the Secretary of State being able to go in and audit to make sure they're making full disclosure?
I think the Secretary of State should audit everything. I think everything should be disclosed. Some of the people fighting for no full disclosure are the Hansen family and the Independent Americans.
Oh, right.
They hate that. They don't want anyone to know who gave them money. The Burke Consortium would say the same thing. So I'm for full disclosure, and I'm also for being able to elect who I want to office.
The fact of the matter, Andy, is that we have a political action committee with the trucking industry, and we do full disclosure. We file the reports as necessary. It does include a carry forward blank, so you have to carry forward what's in your account. I fully expected that it would be subject to audit, and that's how we treat it. To find out that that's not the case, I think does damage to the public's understanding of what full disclosure is and the fact that it isn't being done.
Okay, Mary, I want to change topics here. We've got, at this point, 41.3% of voters are registered Republican in the state, 40.4% are Democrat, and 18.2% are independent or a member of a third party. Does this matter in the next election?
Oh, I think it absolutely does. We have a presidential election coming up, so that turns out more voters and things. And I agree with Daryl's previous comment. There's going to be changes at the polls this time. Republicans are probably going to vote very strongly along their party line, and the independents who totally want to choose where they're going quite often are more conservative in their approach. And what we hope to get out of this stuff is balance. Too far to the right is dangerous, too far to the left is dangerous, but balance is one thing.
There's no question the independents will determine many of the races next
As usual, we're
and
out
I
of
didn't
time.
get a chance to tell my joke.
Okay, we're out of time. We'll do it later. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers.
Lori Ann and the staff of St. Ives Florist invite you to a very special occasion. On Saturday, November 15th, you won't want to miss our 12th annual holiday open house and design preview from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The St. Ives family would love to share our magical wonderland with you and your family. St. Ives Florist, simply the finest, hopes your holidays are simply the warmest.
And I look forward to seeing you Saturday, November 15th at our holiday open house.
Atlantis is cooking up a party. It's every diner's paradise. Toucan Charlie's Buffet and Grill, voted Reno's best buffet by locals year after year. Experience the Mongolian barbecue, new Asian station, and sumptuous exhibition stations filled with fresh entrees, salads, and desserts. Try the Friday night seafood buffet and Sunday champagne brunch. Atlantis.
Hi, I'm Dan.
And I'm Terry.
And this is Dan's Pizza and Parlor. Everything we make here is from scratch. Our fresh cut fries, homemade hamburgers made to order, fresh pizza dough made with 3 types of flour, and Terry's secret pizza sauce, and Dreyer's world famous ice cream. And if you have a sports team, your kids can really have a great time here. Oh! Dan's Pizza and Parlor on Victorian Avenue, just down the street from Great Basin Brewery next to Pyramid Highway.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by Charter Communication.
Next week, we are releasing a poll. You won't want to miss any shows at all. And Monday's very special with a whole discussion about double dipping and bribes.
We'll be right back on Monday. See you then.